Hi everyone, welcome to Fixing SAS4, the series where I don't upload an episode for 3 months because I am a consistent YouTuber. So today's episode we'll be looking at bugs on the maps Zombie Pods and Survivors. They have a surprising amount of bugs for how well played of maps they are. Like Zombie Pods is like the map that you just play a lot, whether it's to level up, to play Nightmare, whatever. And Survivors is obviously the money map. So I'm kind of surprised there's this many and that they haven't really been addressed yet, but whatever. Obligatory disclaimer, this video was recorded in late May 2022. The current update is 1.11. As you, the viewer, are watching this, some of these might be fixed. Check the description or pinned comment to see if anything's been fixed. But anyways, all that said, we'll be starting with Zombie Pods and later talking about Survivors. So on to the video. Alright, to start things off, we'll be looking at Zombie Pods. This is obviously the map that people generally play the most, so these might be kind of commonly known, I don't know. Still worth looking at, worth kind of describing in detail. So first things first, we're just going to be playing some Nightmare Pods, and as you can see, these guys on the left are just trying to walk through that wall to get to me. So this is something I've noticed for a while, which is zombies will sometimes try and pathfind through that wall to get to players. They really like that specific wall for some reason. Like, this doesn't happen with, I think, any of the other walls. It's only that one on the very far left side. I'm not totally sure if it has to do with whether or not the rock is blocking, or like, if the rock is blocking that path or if that's the open path. I'm not sure if that's related. As you saw, they were those worms were trying to get Crunch for a second. Crunch is the person I'm playing with, by the way. But yeah, they sometimes do it other places. But yeah, sometimes they just try and pathfind through walls to get to you. Not totally sure what causes it. It only happens in multiplayer. I think it only happens in Nightmare as well. So that's something. It doesn't happen in single player, I know that much. As you can see here, we're just chilling here. They're trying to, like, they try and pathfind down to us like they normally do, and then they get to that one specific spot, and then they're just like, okay, time to try and go through a wall. So I don't know. It's really weird. It seems to only happen when they're kind of on, like, the right side of that hallway as well. So that's, I don't know. The next bug is actually in the same clip as before. Once again, these bloaters are going to try and pathfind through that wall to get to Crunch. He's going to die. They're going to try and pathfind to me through, 3 barriers. But anyways, the next bug involves purge nests, which are the things that, like, the little clusters of 5 eggs that spawn zombies. In regular mode, there's 4 of them. 1 at the start, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. In Nightmare mode, there's an extra one on the right side where that one medkit usually is, next to some bloaters. And I guess Ninja Kiwi didn't, like, properly update the nests killed requirement or something, because you don't actually need to kill the last nest to go to the boss fight. As you can see, this one here, it's still alive, it's still spawning bloaters, but the gate to the boss room is already open. So we can just completely skip that nest and go straight to the boss. This does cause some problems with the spawn cap. As you can see, like, it's still spawning bloaters. So eventually that's going to fill up the spawn cap and prevent things from spawning in the boss room. As you can see, there's already, like, barely anything. If I break those pods, nothing spawns. So yeah, it kind of causes issues. These guys just kind of pile up right here. That's actually going to become important in a bug I'm probably going to talk about next. But yeah. It only happens with that nest as well. You can't skip any of the other ones. That's the only one you can skip. That's the only one that the bug works with. So yeah, that's weird. Anyways, on to the next set of bugs. For the next bug, I need to briefly explain a mechanic on the map Zombie Pods. So as you can see, I have all of these zombies here, and I'm not going to kill them. I'm just going to walk into the boss area. And once I walk over this yellow striped area, they all instantly die. That's a mechanic that's built into Zombie Pods to prevent the spawn cap from getting cluttered by zombies that are still in the maze. but it's not perfect. It doesn't kill everything, and that's what we're going to be talking about here. So one of the things that it doesn't kill is the 30-second zombies, which are the zombies that spawn that are supposed to break that gate that I just shot down with my shock field. They spawn at exactly 30 seconds into the mission, so I call them the 30-second zombies. It actually doesn't kill those. So you see, we're about like 20 seconds into the mission right now. I'm going to cross into here. The kill wave just happened, but because those zombies haven't appeared yet, they don't get killed. As you can see on the mini-map, they just spawned in up there. There's some dark minions from the 30-second wave that are coming to get me. So now I'm just kind of going around, breaking all the nests, whatever. And then right here, I break the boss egg. And as you can see, basically nothing is spawning. It's certainly not the rush that you usually get. There's like, you know, a few things here, a few things there. They're spawning in very slowly, and that's because the spawn cap is currently filled up by those 30-second zombies. So as you can see, I'm going to go up to the top here, and oh look, there's some zombies. So they have wandered their way through the maze, they've gotten to the end here, they've gotten as close as they can. They can't actually cross that barrier. That's a pretty simple fix that Ninja Kiwi could implement. But as you can see there, I actually can't shoot them with my guns. My guns don't work over that barrier, so that's another possible fix. And then the other thing that this bug happens with is Savage Necrosis as a mid-boss. This only happens in Nightmare mode. This only happens at level 400, which is when you can actually get Savage Necrosis as your mid-boss. But still worth bringing up. So as you can see, we're going through this, we're just completely ignoring the mid-boss. That's the real issue, is that you don't even, like, there's no requirement to kill it. We're going to go over this, though. The kill wave happens, the necrosis dies, but the spawns do not. So they're just chilling there. Notably, they actually chill in a different spot than regular mode. That becomes important in a second. But, you know, whatever. What if we just, like, skip it and just kill the boss? Maybe we'll be able to win anyways. So we kill the boss, we kill all the mobs and stuff. We kill the spawns. Kind of takes a while because we're using weird guns for reasons I'll explain in a second. Okay, so everything's dead, but like, why isn't the timer starting? I don't know. Oh yeah, there's the guys up here. So this is actually a soft lock. So the game will never end because we can't actually kill these bosses. Like, we can't use grenades, we can't use turrets, you can't use proton arc. Launchers don't do damage through walls, which is another bug I'll probably talk about eventually. So yeah, our only option here is to quit. So that kind of sucks. So yeah, I think that's about it for issues with this kill wave mechanic though. So I guess on to the next bug. Alright, so this final bug for the map zombie pods is first of all not exclusive to zombie pods, and second of all is confusingly about pods, like the entities, the green dudes. You can see I'm breaking some open right now, and they're only spawning apex shamblers. Like literally all of them are spawning apex shamblers. So currently I'm in a boosted game. I think the total game level's around 200. And I am only getting apex shamblers. So this is something that happens at only like high levels. Like at level 100 in single player, I'll get like spitters and stalkers and runners and other stuff. But as games get to higher levels, you will only see apex shamblers from pods. And interestingly, this happens on all maps that have pods. So like it happens on Power Out with that one secret area near the bottom. And it happens in Nightmare mode in literally everywhere, since there's like pods everywhere to make it harder or whatever. These are always just apex shamblers. They are never elite, which is a problem in Nightmare mode, because in Nightmare mode, like, you'd expect everything to have like nightmarish, you know? That's what it is on Flash, but on mobile it's just, nope, regular apex shamblers. Anyways, that is it for zombie pods. So now on to the survivors section. Alright, so right off the bat with survivors, there's actually an exception to the previous bug, which is that on survivors in Nightmare, as you can see here, the pods that sometimes generate in rooms actually spawn a variety of zombies. You see it's like, even from individual pods, it's like some shamblers, some stalkers, some other stuff. So it's not just Apex shamblers like it is with all the other maps in all the other modes. So that's interesting. They aren't all nightmarish. I think like sometimes they're nightmarish, it's like a chance. Sometimes they're just elite as well. But, you know, that's interesting. This next bug is pretty minor, but it's still worth bringing up. It's a bug with dialogue, which is kind of a rare thing. So when you're playing survivors and zombies break down a door to a room that has civilians in it, a dialogue thing plays that says, "Ah, save us," and then they die, you know? That dialogue actually plays if a teammate opens a door, sometimes. You see here, I'm playing with some people. One of my teammates is going to open a door, like right in front of me, and the save us dialogue is going to play, even though obviously it's a teammate that's opening that door and not zombies. We don't really know what causes this. It's very inconsistent. It has nothing to do with like who's hosting the match, or with desync, or with regular mode versus nightmare, or if a zombie has already like broken the door a little or not. It seems to just be random if it happens or not. Again, it's a very minor thing. It might confuse people who see the dialogue and think like, oh shoot, there goes a bunch of money, and then the people get saved and like, oh, what? But, you know, pretty minor thing, still worth mentioning. This next bug involves the boss fight of survivors. So, I assume most people are familiar with the boss fight. Once you save all the survivors, you head to the evac zone like it tells you. Stuff kind of falls around, earthquakes happen, and the boss appears. So because we're level 100 and we are gamers, we are going to just nuke those bosses. Like, boom, dead in like 5 seconds. But as you can see, zombies are still spawning, and they are not supposed to do that. So this is a bug. There are 2 conditions that should make zombies stop spawning in the boss fight, which are either you kill the boss or 60 seconds pass. After one of those 2 things happens, they should just immediately stop spawning. But what actually happens is that they only stop spawning after 60 seconds. So that first condition just doesn't exist. Like, you can kill the boss instantly. You can kill it within the first 10 seconds. You can kill it in 30 seconds. You can kill it any time. It doesn't matter. They're, like, zombies are not going to stop spawning. And that's actually a bug. And that is very annoying, because it means that no matter how good your guns are, no matter how overpowered your build is, survivors, the boss fight, always takes 60 seconds, because you can't avoid this. So that really sucks. Ninja Kiwi, please fix. For this next bug, we will be observing the wild zombie in its natural habitat, completely clueless of its surroundings. So this next bug involves zombies, and specifically how they are terrible at attacking survivors after a door to the room has already been opened, and just in general. So you see I opened a room there, it had some survivors in it. I'm going to open this room, it's going to have some zombies, and I'm going to try and like lure them to these survivors, and they are just going to not remotely care. They're just locked on to me. So I don't really know why this happens. I assume it has something to do with like the zombies attack like the door, and then briefly after the door opens, they try and kill the survivors, and afterwards they just don't really care. But yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. I guess they're like pathfinding needs updating or something. The next bug is something very rare. Like, I've never seen this happen. I thankfully have footage of it thanks to Crunch. This happened in one of his live streams. But sometimes it's possible to get more than 60 survivors. We have no idea what causes this. We assume it has something to do with like weird desync. I don't really know. It seems to happen in this clip because more survivors are in a room than there are unknowns. I don't know if that's what always happens, but as you'll see here, Crunch is going to open a room, and there are going to be more survivors than there are unknowns, and he's going to get a negative number of unknown survivors.
Yeah, I will try to 11 already. Unknown, -4. Dude, okay, I have to take a screenshot.
So as you saw there, he had 3 unknown survivors, and then he opened a room that had 7 survivors, and now he has -4 unknown. So again, this is very rare. I've only seen this one time. I've heard of other people getting it. I've never experienced it myself, but yeah, very weird bug. No idea what causes it. And for the final bug, I unfortunately don't have footage because this is another very rare issue, but sometimes the boss fight just will not start. Like, you'll save all the survivors or whatever, you'll get the prompt saying, large tremors detected, head to the evac zone. You'll go to the boss fight, and it just won't start. Like, I don't know. It only happens in multiplayer, I think. It probably has something to do with desync. I don't really know. But yeah, that's all I got. And also, that is about it for Bugs on Survivors. Kind of a disappointing end, but yeah, I don't know. Alright, that is it for Bugs on Survivors and Zombie Pods. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for sticking around after I took a long hiatus from the series. Don't worry, I've got some very big plans in the future. Right now, I'm just talking about bugs. I have plans to talk about more broad things like balancing and better sort of designs for things. I don't know. That's all going to come later. Next episode is probably going to be another tame one. I think I'm going to do bugs with nightmare mode, or maybe bugs on all the other maps, because I really want zero casualties fixed. Please, Ninja Kiwi, fix zero casualties, I beg. But yeah, that'll probably come out sometime soon. Anyways, that's all I have. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.